All right, the first question is asking what is the domain and range. Write your answer in an interval notation. So domain is asking how far does your graph go to the left and right. Range, on the other hand, is asking how far does your graph go down, how far does it go up. Domain is kind of like a moving walkway. And then the range is kind of like an elevator. Okay, so for domain here, all values of x, all possible values of x. So how far does it go to the left? How far does it go to the right? It should be negative infinity to infinity. For the range, how far does it go down? Okay, what is the lowest floor that the elevator is going to hit? Is -1. Okay, but not necessarily passing through the -1 because -1 is the horizontal asymptote. Okay, how far does it go up? Obviously, infinity because it's going up. Okay, and then the second question is asking what are the intercepts by looking at the graph. Okay, looking at the graph, x-intercept x-intercept is always on the x-axis. Okay, so then x-axis is right here. It says x here. This will be your x-intercept. So x is equal to 2. If you were to write it as an ordered pair, it should be 2, 0. X-intercept is when y is equal to 0. Y-intercept is when x is equal to 0, and it is always on the y-axis. So it should be this one, okay? Always on the y-axis. Y is equal to 3. If you were to put that as an ordered pair, it should be 0, 3. Okay, y-intercept could actually be solved when your y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So you could actually solve it. When you're not given the graph, you could actually solve it. So if you were to do that, y equals 4 times 1/2 to the 0 power minus 1. 4 times 1 minus 1. That's going to be 4 minus 1, and that's going to give you 3. Okay, you see how this matches? You can check your answers that way. And the next question says, what is a horizontal asymptote? We just talked about it. Horizontal asymptote could be found at the end of your equation, -1. That means it's going to be translated down 1 unit. Horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals -1. Do not just give me -1. Horizontal asymptote should be y equals -1 so that I could have a horizontal line. Okay, I could even graph it. Horizontal line should be right here. Okay, that is your horizontal asymptote where your graph will never cross. Describe the end behavior. Okay, now we have two different ends. We have two different arrows on this graph. Okay, so the first one is this one. And the second one is this one. Okay, now we can define it. We can differentiate them by left and right. Okay, so this one is the left side. This one is the right side. Okay, because there are two arrows, there's always two different end behaviors. Now let's do the left side first. Okay, instead of writing it as a left side, we write it as x is approaching negative infinity. The right side, we can write it as x is approaching infinity. Now what you write next is the y value, but y value has 3 different options. Either it's going to infinity, negative infinity, or the asymptote, okay? Okay, looking at the left side, it could be going up, down, or the asymptote, right? Horizontal asymptote. Okay, up is this, down is negative infinity, horizontal asymptote in this case is -1. Okay, so this y, which one is it? It has to go up. So y is approaching infinity. For the right side, same options, right? Is it up, down, or horizontal asymptote? It is horizontal asymptote, okay? Just remember that x is talking about left and right, and then y is asking for up, down, or the horizontal asymptote. Okay, so there should always be two end behaviors. That's it.